Welcome back to another Troy Kete YouTube video. We're here at Western Springs Speedway for what could possibly be the very last time. I really hope it's not. Really hope Auckland Council and everyone comes to their senses and leaves Speedway at their rightful home. You know, we've grown up here at Western Springs ever since I can remember, coming here in a pram, and I was fortunate enough to get to go racing from 10 years old in a quarter midget, and I haven't stopped here. So I'm extremely lucky to have been able to do it for the last 13 years. Some great memories, some terrible ones, but you know, this place is just magical for everyone. 96 years, so hopefully this isn't the last one, but it's the last one that we think at the moment. So we got 27, 28 TQs signed up tonight. I think we get 3 heats in a feature, so she'll be pretty big heats again, probably 18 cars. So it's going to be an awesome night. We're expecting a sold out house, so yeah, really looking forward to it, and thank you for watching. Heat 1 was an awesome heat race. Starting 5th, managed to find a nice outside line in turn 1 and 2 and get up to 2nd place. The car was an absolute rocket, and I feel like we had almost a little bit for Dylan there, but I jumped the restart, and he sent it down on the inside in turn 1, so good on him. Came in 2nd from 5th, so you can't complain about that. Starting 14th in the next one, so we've really got to put our push up and see what we can do. So the track's black slick, so we'll get it tuned up and ready to go again.
Heat 2, unfortunately we got caught up in other people's mess once again for this season. Got a real good restart on sort of lap 2 or 3 I think it was, and somehow went from like 12th to 7th, and then all of a sudden everybody stopped coming down the back straight, which was a real bugger. And in doing so I kind of went under a car, and someone got in and punctured my left rear, and sort of spent the rest of the race struggling, and didn't really know why we were struggling, but when we came into the pits we realised the left rear was flat, so that made complete sense. Unfortunately that really hurts the points, because in the TQs you just really have to move forward in every race, and if you don't move forward it makes it really hard to get points. So a 10th and a 2nd has us starting 9th, so if we sort of got that 7th or 6th place finish in the second heat we could have been starting 4th, which is just massive, but it is what it is. We'll press on and see what we can do starting 9th in the feature. Final ever feature race at Western Springs Speedway completed here for the 4ATQ. Hopefully it's not the last, but the last for now, as we know. Brought the car home in 6th. It was sort of the best of what we could do, starting 9th. When TQ racing gets kind of like that, unless you make some moves in the first lap or two, there's not a lot you can do. Unfortunately, just really following each other around on the pole line, because if you kind of stepped off of it, it was just an ice skating rink, and it's too far around to make anything work up high. But really happy to bring the car home straight for once, but it just shows how much qualifying makes a huge difference in the TQ class. But yeah, really happy to bring the car home 6th and have it straight for a change, which has been really good for our run of late. So it's just a massive testament. I'll chuck some photos up of the crowd. It was in excess of 20,000 people at the Speedway last night, so it makes it pretty hard to see how they're going to get rid of this place. It's, they're not thinking about what the repercussions are, and the families that are there, and it's just so cool. The atmosphere was something I've never seen, and just grateful to have been able to race in front of that crowd last night and in front of everyone that showed up for the last 13 years whilst I've been racing. So really appreciate it, and if that is the end for the Springs, then that's really crap, but fingers crossed it's not. And our season presses on. We'll head down to Huntly Speedway next weekend and see what we can do down there for the Auckland TQs. Bring it on, and thank you for watching.